Good morning, y'all. I'm making a video amendment. That's what this is. Now, went home last night, started editing some videos, and usually what I do is when I'm done editing a video, I will go forward and look at, say, the next video or two that I'm going to be editing, and it gives me a little bit of an idea about what I'm getting ready to get into, what maybe I'm going to name it. I name my videos exactly what we're doing. I don't really try to, like, oh my God, we're almost died today, which is kind of the case, but that's just not how I title my videos. Irregardless of that, when I was going through my next videos that I'm going to be editing, I realized that in the video I said, hey, this is what I'm doing, and we'll have this bulldozer back together in 2 days, or something like that. But what I'm here to tell you is that when I go back and look at stuff like that, I'm amazed at how wrong I am most of the time. And the reason why is because nothing ever goes how you think it's going to go. Nothing. You can be cooking dinner and it never goes how you think it's going to go. It's always something. But when you're dealing with this stuff here, it's like 10 times worse. You just never know what you're going to run into. So, what I want to explain is that in this video, I had no idea that, I mean, maybe something's built wrong. Maybe we put it together wrong. I don't know. But when I buy a bushing and a pin, and the bushing and pin, it comes in a box, and the bushings are like, the way they ship them is the bushing is slid over the pin. So you can clearly see that they fit perfectly. Now, when you press these bushings in, if the outside dimension is not correct in either, I'm just going to use the example of what we were working on. If the outside dimension in my dozer isn't correct with what they think it should be, you put the bushing in and it smashes the bushing down. Now the inside dimension where the pin slides in is not going to be correct. Now, I don't know what happened, but when we received the parts, everything fit together nicely. Every single bushing we pushed in, not even close. It smashed them things down so bad we had to go in and pin fit each one, which is really not out of the ordinary. But as much as we had to take out of them, that is out of the ordinary. So, you know, what I think is going to take a couple days to get something back together, because in all reality, it didn't take us any more than 2 days to put this dozer together when it was all said and done. What happened was, it took me 2 weeks. Now, some days, I'm not here. I don't, you know, if it's pouring down rain, like it was yesterday, some days if we're here, we try to work through it. Some days if it's 90% chance of rain, we're just not going to make the trip here and work. So, it's funny to go back and look at these videos and say, oh, yeah, I'll have this thing done in a couple days. 2 weeks later, I'm still fitting bushings and pins. So my 2-day put this thing together project turned into 3 weeks. 2 weeks of it was doing crazy stuff. The other extra few days was making things fit that didn't fit and buying the wrong parts and then replacing those parts. So that's what's going on in this video you're getting ready to see right now. All right, we're kind of in a hurry this morning because I'm running late. We got to go get our dozer parts. We got to actually, the guy that's been helping us, he's had the stuff for just a minute, but he actually hurt himself, messed his back up, so basically what's happening is that we're going to go and help him finish the last couple pieces. So yeah, we're grabbing a trailer this morning. We're kind of in a hurry. That's why I'm taping and moving all over the place at the same time. But we had to move our water tank, grab our trailer, and we're going to pick up dozer parts this morning. Zach, I think that's it, right?
Yes, sir. We're ready to go.
All right.
Go close to the front. Oh, I can push it over there.
All right, guys, we got our parts. Actually helped him out, put one of them bushings in, and he's a little hurt and can't swing the hammer. Honestly, that hammer, that thing weighs about 30 pounds. I can hardly pick it up. So got our stuff. We're on our way. Welcome back, y'all. Day 2. The rain has finally, looks like it's kind of subsided. Man, it's been raining bad for like 4 days. But as you saw yesterday, we went and picked some stuff up, and today, it's time. We probably won't get a lot reassembled today, and here's why. It's been a cool minute. I've never done this before. It's gonna take some looking back of some photos and things like that to figure out where we're at, but we should have enough parts here to where we can actually get a good bit of stuff done here in the next couple days. So I'm really excited about getting back to work on this, because we like this a lot better than we like that. So we like learning on big stuff that's made of steel, not so much big stuff made out of wood. So yeah, so here we go. We're gonna get started, and we're gonna start, first thing, we're gonna start fitting all the pins in the replaced bushings. So let's do that. So I'm just cleaning up the very edge. I'm not getting down inside where the bushing is at all. I'm just getting the very edge so I can get this pin in there. I'll be a nice guy and let you get the heavy end. How about that?
That works.
Oh my God, that thing's heavy.
Let me set it down right here. Move my head a little bit.
Yeah, now this thing's definitely got to kind of squirrel around some of this stuff. So not sure exactly. Got to go under the body a little bit. There we go.
That's in there.
There we go.
Nice.
Just like that.
Ooh. That'll work.
That's definitely a whole lot tighter than the last one.
Yeah, no kidding.
Nice.
It started.
All right, grab your hammer and just barely tap that in just a little bit to hold it. There you go, that's good enough. Well, I guess we cleaned that up enough, because that actually slid in there way easier than, well, actually, this was the easy side when we took it apart, remember? This was the side that slid right apart. So maybe fighting it all the way off will give us a little reprieve from going back together. So the hardest part about this is there's a locating pin in here. We get that got the locating pin in. Zach's getting the bolts in. We gotta put a bolt in here, drive this in, and then we'll tighten those two there that are gonna actually hold this thing a little more steady. You can see that it's not, I mean, it's still wobbly in the back. There's nothing we can do about that other than we weld it all up and remachine it and whatever, and we're not doing that. It's just, this whole thing ain't worth that. So yeah, it's going back together. We're doing pretty good. But Zach's got the A-frames on. He's got the whole thing on with the bushing, the new bushing, and he's tightening everything down right now. I fired this thing up for the first time in a couple months. Man, it didn't even, made a half a revolution, fired right up. This thing runs so good. Now for the bad news. We were kind of afraid that we may have to weld these bushings in, and I could not get these bushings straightened out. The top one's a mess, the bottom one's not that bad, but I've got to hone these things out. I actually got the old pin locked in the bushing and ended up getting the bushing back out. So we got to put this in, we got to weld these bushings in. I got to do a better job at fitting these things to fit the pins, and I'm going to go get a tool tonight to do that, and I'll resume with that tomorrow. So but we're gonna, at this point, we're going to keep working on that. We still got stuff to do. We'll be here for another couple hours, so it's going well. All right, y'all, that's it. We got all of our mess cleaned up, and we're unhooked from the trailer, and we got to go get some parts so we can carry on rather than try to grind all this stuff. Whatever, I'm gonna try and do it right. So that's what's up. On my way to the parts store. I will resume this one tomorrow. Y'all have a great night. I know I will. What's up, y'all? Welcome back. It's day 2. We're working on this guy. Zach's been working on finishing up these plates this morning. We got that going on. Of course, our hammered pins that go into the adjuster, they're pretty destroyed, but I'm not taking all that apart. We're not replacing them. Zach is cleaning them up a little bit, which honestly is kind of like, it's getting the chunks off so don't rip a seal, but I mean, how much can a seal hold on something that is rusted and pitted? I'm not exactly sure, but hey, it held before. I mean, the track stayed tight. I don't know if it was just in a good spot on it, or, you know, when we pull them things, when we put the new ones on, or when we put the old ones on that are rebuilt, and the new idler wheels and the new chain, it's going to move all that back, which might put it in a bad spot. But you know what, it is what it is. I can't put $1 million into this thing. So Zach's working on that this morning. I've got this all set up, and we are honing bushings and getting them to fit nicely. And so far so good. I've got one done, finishing up another. Let's go. right, y'all, it looks pretty good. It takes a while. I don't have what we would consider to be the best tools to do this job, but good enough. So we'll clean this stuff up. You got to make sure you got all the residue off, that because when you're sanding this out, it leaves, see all that? It leaves all these little deposits in here, and believe it or not, that will actually keep that pin from going in and showing you the proper clearance that it has. So let me put a little bit of oil in here, and then we'll check it. There we go. This thing's got some oil in it, so it's you know, it's about as tight as you'd want that. I mean, you don't want them to be super tight where you got to drive them through there or anything. You want them to go easy, but it's got oil in it, so it's taking up room, and I can still move it. So when we get grease in there, it'll be perfect. There's that guy. Does it look beat?
Yeah.
Yep, looks beat. Cool, okay. All right, Zach's working on these guys. We're getting these things ready to put new seals in them. Get these things freshened up, cleaned up. So, yeah. All right, guys, I got this one done. These bushings are not like factory John Deere bushings. You can't buy a lot of these bushings anymore from John Deere. So we got to get them like aftermarket. And these big rear C-frame bushings, we're actually, we're making these greasable. They were never greasable from the factory. So we're gonna try to, these things actually have a grease groove in the new bushing. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna actually make these greasable. So they're, hey, if they're serviceable, then they last a lot longer. All right, y'all. Well, we've all but burned up our little hone here. I'm not sure how well that's gonna go, but I think we're kind of done with that. It's not gonna make it through another bushing. And we have, believe it or not, these little guys, seems like they were almost harder to do, which maybe they were just beat up worse than these big guys in the back. I don't know if it's just how the hone definitely did seem to have more pressure on that, which doesn't make sense because these are smaller bushings. So I'm not sure why, but we still have this guy to do. We got these guys to do. We've got these 2 front ones to do. So I'm going to come up with kind of a different plan for the rest of these. Whether that plan is buying more tools that are going to be disposable or what, I don't know. But I'm going to try to come up with a better plan tonight, so I can maybe buy 1 tool and we can use it on, you know, for more than a day. So yeah, I mean, we've this stuff is so time consuming. Like, I know that you guys aren't seeing a lot, but more than likely I'm gonna stop this video here and just make it a couple days, and I'll resume again my videos in the morning. As you can see, Keith is mowing, and he's been out here. He's been at it for a while, but there's a lot of ground to cover here. So he went way back down in there by the rock. He was down in there for a while, and he's kind of making his way around. And I gotta be honest with you, I can't wait to get a tractor. I don't really care about a tractor. Tractors don't interest me at all. I'm looking for something a little more heavy than a tractor, but I think it's going to be a necessity out here. You know, we need a bucket, we need some forks, we need a brush hog, and eventually we're going to need a finish mower. So obviously all that stuff is going to come with a tractor. So we'll see what happens there. Nothing's going to happen today, but as long as I got Keith to come over and mow it, we're happy with that. So listen, guys, we will be back here tomorrow. We got some shopping to do in the morning. Got to go find some tools. Maybe have to order some stuff tonight, and we will we'll continue with what we're doing. But until then, remember, 100% of your substandard YouTube content, it comes from this place right here. It's all made right here. Like, I don't even know if there's any other place you can go on YouTube and get substandard stuff. It's all made on this property right here. So have a great night, guys. I know I will.